What's going on, YouTube? The Dominican African American is back with another video. Today's video is going to be about why or what traveling to the Dominican Republic did for me and why I think you should go. Not just to the DR, but really anywhere outside the United States, at least once. All right. Most cities in America, has its ups and downs. A lot of downs for sure. And you'll notice that those downs are contagious and they rub off on people's energy, political views, their interactions. And you could find yourself being the victim of someone else's, virus. Their virus of the negative inner city affection. And, after not only weeks and months, but after years of being receptive to it, it can fuck you up. You know what I mean? It can really fuck you up. So one thing that I've noticed is that leaving the country is the only cure to all of that pessimism and bitterness and animosity, because you start to see that there's more out there other than your inner city. All right. And again, that's what this video is going to be about. We're going to get into it. You know what I mean? About what the DR specifically, the DR did for me. So look, I had it planned to go there for a while now. I first got introduced to the Dominican culture at a young age. I mean, now I'm 30, but when I first came across a Dominican woman, or at the time a girl, I was in middle school. And I didn't know shit about the DR. I heard about it. I'm like, oh, so you're not Puerto Rican? All I knew was Puerto Rican and Mexican growing up. But then high school came and I worked at this cable spot. And it was this girl. Oh my God. Brown skin. She was skinny. You know what I mean? So if you don't like skinny chicks, it is what it is. I really like any type of body, but she was skinny, but man, she was so attractive. And she was, fellas, like when you come across a woman that's just so pretty that if you don't say something, you're gonna feel like shit about it. You like, fuck it, I'd rather get rejected than to not shoot my shot. She was one of those type of pretties, man. So I shot my shot and it worked out. You know what I mean? But a few years later down the line, I met another one. And I became very, very fascinated when I met that second one. And that had to have been in, I think, 2017. It's now 2024. And it was her culture, her family, how she was, her mindset that I was amazed by. I mean, the family unity, something that we don't really see a lot in the black culture. The fact that they had another language, obviously that was stripped from us. You know what I mean? How pretty she was, you know what I mean? Her body, the music, the food that she would cook. Like she had a culture. And I'm not saying that, us as African Americans don't, but I mean, we also don't have a flag to really support it. We got the American flag because as much as we may not want to accept it, we're Americans. Hence the African American. We speak English. But it was from that point on where I wanted to say, you know what? I'm going to learn Spanish and I'm going to indulge deeper into this culture. Now I would have years of on and off, but that's just the background of where this curiosity came from. And so I already had an interest in it. But it wasn't until, heartbreak and a bunch of this city shit that you run into where I said, you know what? Enough's enough. It's time to go get the fucking passport, right? So I go get the passport because I was supposed to be going, I went on a cruise and I thought, you needed a passport for a cruise. And I think you did, I forget. But the cruise, after that experience in the Bahamas, that told me like, look, we really got to go now. You know what I mean? And I said, all right, I'll go to Puerto Rico first. Because I've been hearing, you hear all of this stuff about the DR, how people getting killed and all of this extra shit. So I go to Puerto Rico first. It was lovely, you know what I mean? But I knew something was missing. So a few months later, for my 30th, I said, you know what, I'm out. I booked the flight in advance. And I said, I'm going to treat myself to that. I'm going to treat my 30th to this, man. And dog. What it did for me is, well, one, it showed me that, and obviously some of these you just got to have within yourself, but I know how difficult it is to have it in yourself when you're being reminded you ain't shit every day in America. But, when having women actually appreciate you, and again, I'm not saying that all women don't appreciate you, for all police out there, you know what I mean? But, I mean, when you get off the fucking airport, they're appreciative. You know what I mean? It almost felt like, this is an extreme, but it kind of like, when the troops come back home, getting an applause, it almost kind of felt like that. You know what I mean? Fresh off the airport. And, that was crazy, but also seeing how many beautiful women there were just in the airport. I didn't even touch outside the airport yet. You know what I mean? One of the staffs allowed me to get in front of, cut the immigration line. And I mean, it was just like, damn. They were everywhere, man. And I mean, like, the prettiest women I've ever seen in my life just work in the airport. So I get in there and I'm like, oh shit. So my taxi's outside waiting for me, and as soon as you get out the airport, you're going to be heckled and hounded by, taxi drivers like, yo, come ride with me, or they might think that you're the one that they're waiting on. And that was definitely like a surprise for me. I've seen in videos that it was going to get like that, but I had forgotten at the time. But what was the biggest culture shock was when we actually got in the taxi and was driving to the villa. Just seeing how people drive out there, seeing the land, the palm trees, the conditions of the roads, the houses, it was a complete culture shock because they seem completely fine. Like if America had their shit, some of the roads and so just some of the inconveniences that they have, we'll be in fucking tyranny out this bitch. But over there, it's peaceful. You know what I mean? It's peaceful. So it was a culture shock. It showed me that, like, look, there's more to it than America. You know what I mean? You could actually have less and be at peace and be okay. You feel what I'm saying? So that's one of the things that did it for me. Another thing that traveling there did for me was it showed me that I'm doing it wrong when it comes to my finances. Well, what do I mean by that? What I mean is, gotta make this turn. What I mean is, I'm definitely overspending here in America, right? But good luck trying to find a $500 apartment or a $300 apartment. You know what I mean? Good luck. And when I was over there, I came across some Americans and they was like, look, this is how you do it. This is how you can stretch your money further by living here and making American money. So it opened up, what going there showed me was like, yo, there's another layer of life that you could live, where you could live in another country where things are a lot more affordable, but still earn your American currency. And that put a fire, you know what I mean, to me in a good way. Because, you know, when you're here, or at least for me, I go through periods where I'm just in a rut. Do I want Dunkin' Donuts? I don't know. You know what? Yeah, I'm about to go get some Dunkin' Donuts. I'll be right back. I'll be back. Look, I'm going to give you guys a life hack, all right? Wawa's better than Dunkin', but if you can't find a Wawa, you get the medium coffee with cream and sugar, a blueberry glaze or a glaze, all right? Thank me later. All right, so I'm trying to think, where did I leave off at? Oh yeah, making American money. Yeah, so you can make American money, and what it did for me, because I'd be stuck in ruts sometimes, is like, you know, when you're in a rut, sometimes you're like, damn, well, what is there to do? What is there to do? Because all you are concerned with is really chasing ass. You know what I mean? But there's only so much ass in the world. You know what I mean? You need something to do as a man other than just chase women all the fucking time. You feel me? And what that showed me was, all right, well, how do I make that my reality? I mean, look at these rappers out here, right? They go from nothing to something by consistency and hard work. Look at the athletes. They ball their entire life, right? They come from, a lot of them come from nothing. Like when you're successful, some people's stories are literally they had nothing and they put in the work and they become something. So why can't this be your rap story or your NBA story, where you put in the work that's required so that you can live the life that you truly want to live? And that's what going there did for me. It gave me something to do back home in America. And man, what else did it show me? So also another thing that it showed me was that I'm not fucking crazy when it comes to some of the sisters here. Not all of them, you know what I mean? I definitely came across some good ones, but like, there's some things you're just not gonna have to ask for. Now look, I think I only, out of my entire life, I think I asked one woman to do the dishes for me, right? One woman. But when I went to the DR, it was done like it was nothing. It didn't even cross my mind, like, yo, maybe should I ask them to do the dishes? It didn't even cross my mind, because I already knew what type time it was from my experience in America. Nah, man, they gonna bang them dishes right out. You know what I mean? They're gonna make the bed like it's nothing. They're gonna bang the dishes right out like it's nothing. Another thing that I never experienced here was I've never been bathed before by a woman. And like, how can I say this? I know some of y'all are probably like, well, damn, man, what type of chicks you dealing with? And I get that, you know what I mean? Maybe it is me, and I'm not even gonna argue that, maybe. But yeah, man, you can be bathed out there, like, we're not even gonna touch on like the explicit details, you know, because we can't really get into that because of YouTube. But the point that I'm trying to make is that it's a reset button. It's a place, or there's places outside America where you can go to reset, regroup, where you let off the burden of what's required here to survive here in America, where you can kind of just forget about it for a second. And what going there did for me was relieved a lot of stress. I mean, there was women that I still cared for that when I came back, I did not care for anymore. And I know you're like, well, how the fuck is that possible? Bro, when you're hurt, when you're upset, when you're in that much pain, and then you come across things that you've been asking for your entire life, yeah, you're not gonna give a fuck. You're gonna. It's like a drug. You're gonna be wondering, how do I get that experience again? How do I relive the travel experience? You're not gonna be focused on the one joint that hurts you or anything like that. You're just not, because that energy, you now know where you can channel it, and you know what will come if you channel it in that direction. So I mean, bro, like if you're going through something where you just in a rut, you depressed, you heartbroken, I get it. But dog, just leave the country one time. You may not even be hurt over a woman. It might just be you fucked up right now. You probably put on a little weight or got fired or something. Whatever the case may be, just leave the country and come back and tell me how you feel. The country that you are interested in, it may not be the DR. Maybe fucking Thailand or Brazil or some shit. I don't know, or Colombia. A lot of brothers like Colombia. You know what I mean? Like, just go and hit me in the comment section and tell me if I wasn't right, bro. Just tell me if I wasn't right. So again, because I know we're going on long here, going there relieved a lot of stress for me. Going to the DR relieved a lot of stress for me. It gave me something to do on my way, like when I came back home, it gave me something to do instead of just sitting around pouting and being fucking miserable all the time. It showed me that there's look, in America, I didn't think that there was more fish in the sea. I was like, all right, well, you got to factor in if she got kids. You got to factor in if she's single. You got to factor in if she actually like you, if she actually find you attractive. You got to factor in her morale, her mindset, her beauty. You got to factor all of this shit in. So I'm like, yeah, there's more fish in the sea, but it's not that much good fish for you in the fucking sea. You know what I mean? And what going to the DR showed me is that, yes, brothers, yes, man, there's more fish in the sea. I mean, that's one island. That's one little section of the island that I was at. You know what I mean? You got the whole world out there, bro. The whole world. So please don't think you gotta take no bullshit that's fucking with your masculinity, that's fucking with your morals, that's messing with your energy. You ain't gotta worry about none of that shit. None of it. All right? It showed me that there's a way out. Like the video, comment down below, subscribe, and let me know what videos y'all want to see next, all right? Peace.